Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing a custom palette I made, the Natasha Denona Vintage Love palette. I got it in February, but I wasn't a big fan of the color story and the shimmers in the ND palette aren't great, so I edited the palette to suit my needs. I want to talk about the choice of colors. I wanted to create a color story that isn't as monochromatic or pink, so I chose shades that I could reach for on a daily basis, like greens and bronzes. I tried to keep as many of the mattes in the original palette, and I also added mattes from the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze palette. The mattes are very pigmented and blend easily. The shimmers weren't all that great. They're like ColourPop eyeshadows. At that price point, I expect more, honestly. So I added some singles from my collection, mainly from Divina Cosmetics. For example, the shades Pure Love and Giving I've replaced with the Tucana and Starfire from Divina. They're pretty close to the original shades, they're just more impactful. I also added the shade Para Lucia, which is discontinued. For the greens, I added a matte from Beauty Bay Earthy palette and Tamitanuka's his Emerald Shadow. There are two types of mattes in the Natasha Denona palettes. There's creamy mattes, which are like a mix between a matte and a cream. They're not really creams, but they feel very creamy and they blend easily. And then there's one cream to powder shade, the shade called Commitment. Overall, the cream to powder is very pigmented, but it does go on a lot lighter on the eye than it shows in the pan. Overall, I really like the matte formula. As for the looks, I did 4 looks that aren't necessarily what I would wear on a daily basis. I just tried to use as many shades as possible. The first look is a typical pink look, using mostly the pinks and some of the purples and the shade Starlight from Pastel Roses all over the lid. I then decided to do a green look, using all the greens in the palette. Third look, I used the bronzes and the shade Personal Champagne from Mizon all over the lid. And the final look, I wanted to use the shade Tucana all over the lid, and I mixed it with pinks and bronzes. If I were to use this on a daily basis, I would prefer to use 1 or 2 mattes on the eye and then do one shade all over the lid. I have now used all the shades in the palette and I can safely say this is a very versatile palette. It's more of a fall palette, but I wear these colors all year round. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks.